What if the most important camera Nikon has not released yet is also the one that could quietly shape its entire future direction? That question is beginning to feel less like speculation and more like pressure building in the background of the industry. The conversation around the Nikon Z7 III is no longer just about a missing product or a delayed announcement. It has evolved into something deeper, something that touches the identity of Nikon's approach to photography itself. The uncomfortable question now being asked is whether the Nikon Z7 III is delayed because it is still being perfected, or because Nikon is no longer sure it fits into the direction the company is heading. In other words, the debate is not just about timing anymore, but about relevance. The Nikon Z7 III sits at the center of this uncertainty, representing a philosophy of high-resolution, stills-focused photography that may or may not still have a clear place in Nikon's evolving ecosystem. Inside the rumor space, the Nikon Z7 III has become one of the most contradictory and fascinating topics in recent memory. Different leaks paint completely different pictures of what this camera could be. Some suggest a major leap forward in resolution, with sensors potentially exceeding 60 megapixels, possibly sourced from Sony or alternative manufacturers like TowerJazz. Others go even further, suggesting capabilities that push into territory usually reserved for far more video-centric systems, including internal 8K recording and significantly improved processing power powered by Nikon's next-generation image engine. Autofocus improvements are also frequently mentioned, with expectations of faster, smarter subject detection and tracking that could bring the Nikon Z7 III closer to flagship-level performance than any previous Z7 model. However, what makes these rumors especially interesting is not whether they are accurate or not. In many ways, their accuracy has become secondary. What truly matters is what they reveal about the expectations of photographers. The Nikon Z7 III has become a projection of what users want a high-resolution camera to be. And that desire is surprisingly specific. Many photographers are not asking for another hybrid camera that tries to do everything. Instead, they are asking for focus. They want a tool that prioritizes resolution, image purity, and detail above all else. A camera that does not attempt to compete in every category, but instead excels in one clearly defined purpose: still photography at the highest possible quality. There is also an emerging expectation that Nikon could leverage technologies developed in its higher-end cameras and refine them for a more deliberate shooting experience. That means borrowing advanced autofocus systems, improved processing capabilities, and potentially stabilization improvements, but applying them in a way that enhances still photography rather than turning the camera into a hybrid video machine. The idea is not necessarily to make the Nikon Z7 III faster or more complex, but to make it more intelligent, more precise, and more controlled. At the same time, skepticism continues to grow. Some argue that if Nikon simply reuses existing technology without meaningful innovation, the Nikon Z7 III risks becoming irrelevant. The danger is not that the camera will be bad, but that it will feel unnecessary. In a lineup that already includes extremely capable cameras, incremental updates might not be enough to justify its existence. This creates a delicate balancing act where the Nikon Z7 III must avoid two extremes: being too similar to existing models, or being so stripped down that it loses its premium identity. From a business perspective, the delay in the Nikon Z7 III is not difficult to understand. High-resolution stills-focused cameras represent a smaller market compared to hybrid or video-oriented systems. Cameras like the Z6 series or more versatile hybrid bodies tend to appeal to a wider audience, which naturally makes them a higher priority for development and marketing resources. In that sense, it makes strategic sense for Nikon to focus on products that generate broader demand. However, This logic introduces a deeper complication, because it raises the question of whether specialized tools like the Nikon Z7 III still have a place in a market increasingly driven by versatility. Another major challenge comes from internal competition within Nikon's own lineup. The Nikon Z8 already occupies a powerful position in the ecosystem, offering high resolution combined with extremely fast performance and advanced video capabilities. It blurs the traditional boundaries between stills and hybrid cameras. When a product like the Z8 already exists, the question naturally arises, what role does the Nikon Z7 III play without overlapping or being overshadowed? If it is too close to the Z8 in performance, it risks redundancy. If it is simplified too much, it risks being seen as overpriced. And if it attempts to compete directly, it could potentially cannibalize sales of Nikon's own flagship models. This internal overlap is one of the key reasons why the Nikon Z7 III has not yet arrived. It is not simply about engineering delays or missing technology. It is about defining identity within a crowded and increasingly complex lineup. Modern camera systems are no longer built around a single product per category. Instead, they are ecosystems where each model must occupy a precise role without stepping on another. The Nikon Z7 III is caught in the middle of that structure, trying to find a purpose that is both unique and commercially viable. At the same time, technological development itself has become more demanding. Modern cameras require advanced autofocus systems powered by artificial intelligence, faster sensor readouts to reduce rolling shutter, improved image processing pipelines, and better thermal management. All of these systems must work together seamlessly while still preserving the core identity of a high-resolution camera. That identity, in the case of the Z7 series, has always been about image purity, detail, low ISO performance, and controlled shooting conditions. Maintaining that philosophy while integrating modern technology is not a simple task. It requires careful design decisions and, more importantly, time. Because sometimes, the most important cameras are not the ones that arrive quickly. They are the ones that force a company and an entire community to decide what kind of photography still matters.